Good morning, families. My name is Mr. Ortiz, and I am the headmaster of Founders Classical Academy of Schertz. And I want to welcome you to our virtual tour. I would love to show you the highlights of what makes our school better than all the schools around us, and also better than classical schools that are around us. So follow me this way. We're going to start out at the main office, and from there we're going to go to grammar school and then our secondary school. So this is where all of our families would start their tour or start their day. Here at the front desk we have Miss Farrow, who with her lovely smile is always receiving our parents. If you have any questions, if you'd like to deliver any documents, she would be the first person that you would see and welcome you to our campus. Let's go this way now so I can show you our grammar school. Looks like we have a kindergarten class headed to recess. We'll have an opportunity to look at the gym area, which is where we do both our recesses and also our PE. Welcome to our grammar school building. In this building, we have housed kinder through 4th grade. Our middle schoolers are actually in the secondary school building at the moment, but we are planning on building a 3rd building just for middle school. So I'd like to show you our hallways and one of our classrooms so you get an idea of the size of the classrooms that we have here for our students. So follow me this way. Another thing I'd like to point out is the artwork. We are very intentional about choosing the best works of art for our students. We believe in exposing our students to beauty all the time, not just in the visual arts, but poetry, literature, math, history, and science. Now, why do we do this? We're very intentional about making sure that every academic minute we choose and we use in order to elevate the hearts and minds of our students to higher things. So, at Founders Classical Academy, we practice contemplating all day. Follow me this way and see if we can catch a class. This is one of our kindergarten classrooms. Generally, we'll have no more than 20 kindergartners in a classroom. We have currently 4 sections of kindergarten, 4 sections of 1st, 4 sections of 2nd, and 4 sections of 3rd. And then from there we go to 3 sections 4th grade, 2 sections 5th grade, and 2 sections 6th grade. And everything up in secondary school, starting in 7th grade, is 2 sections. We have 1 instructional aide per grade. So our 4 kindergarten teachers, for example, share 1 aide. And it's the same in every single grade, kinder through 6th grade. If you want to take a quick peek of what the classroom looks like. And one thing I would love to point out real fast while we're in here is the 9 pictures or frames in the back wall. Every classroom is going to have 9 pictures, and we call those virtue pictures because each one of them tells a story of a virtuous action. At Founders Classical Academy, we really focus on developing the character of our students and not just the mind or the body. So we tell our students and we steep them in stories of heroes from the past all the way up to contemporary times so that our students have something to emulate as we teach them their academics. Now let's go check out and see if we can find maybe a 2nd grade classroom. I also want to point out that we don't just have great works of art on our walls, we have the great work of our children as well. In this case, we have kindergarten, who is working through some impressionism at the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our 2nd graders are currently in class. So we're gonna go in really quickly just to observe how classes take place. So follow me this way.
Make this time on your clock and hold it in front of your chest. What does this say?
1:00.
Okay, where's the o'clock? Where does the blue hand go? So your clock should look like this. And I'm going to put it on the other hand now. It should look like this. Okay, good job. Now, we're going to do one more hour. Please make, what time does this say, everybody?
6 o'clock.
Please make 6 o'clock on your clock.
It looks like another section of the 2nd second graders are also working on something. But I'd like to point out what's above the door frame. Now, you notice above the door frame, we have 3 shields and a flag. This is part of our incentives program, and it's the way that we do discipline here on campus if you're wondering about our discipline system. We like to incentivize our students to good behavior and not just take a punitive approach. Each shield is something that you compete with other sections with. So the first one here is for poetry, the middle one is for charity, and the last one is for temperance. I do want to point out one last thing, and it's the flag. That's a competition for how much reading you do a week. So this class has won all 3 shields and a flag. So the other sections are competing against them to try to take those shields from them. So let's see if we can interrupt them for a moment and get a wave. This right here is our school shield. We call it a hoplon. This shield is fashioned after the shields used by the Spartans. The Spartan hoplite is our mascot. Now on the shield you'll see a number of symbols. This shield, you're also going to find it on our uniforms. So our children have the shield on the uniform to remind them of the virtues that we try to instill in them while at school. There are 4 cardinal virtues on the shield. We have temperance, prudence, justice, and courage. And at the center we have our trillium flower, which represents our school. Each one of these petals represents the true, the good, and the beautiful. And in the center we have one of the most important virtues that a lot of schools forget, which is the virtue of caritas, which is translated from the Latin sometimes as love or charity. We also have 7 stars that represent the 7 liberal arts. And we have our school motto, which is something that we repeat often here on campus, Virtus tentamine gaudet, which means strength or virtue rejoices in the challenge. So let's go and check out our secondary school building. As we head to the secondary school building, we go past our playground and our backfield where we play soccer, we have archery, and we do a lot of science projects. We love to see the students playing all the time, and we're excited to have such a beautiful playground to be offered to our students. We give our students kinder through 5th grade 2 recesses a day. Starting in 6th grade, we go down to 1, and then our middle school students have a much longer lunch period that allows them to play or eat depending on what they would like to do. So let's go in here. This is our secondary school building. As you can tell, we have 4 layers, each one of these representing a house. And I'll walk through the houses with you in just a moment. What you're seeing now is our secondary school lobby. This is where our parents who have children from 7th grade through 12th grade would come in to meet with our office manager or office staff. As you can tell, we also have a small trophy collection here. We take a lot of pride in our sports and the number of games that we have won. So any children who are competitive, this is the right school for them. So we're going to go this way, and I'm going to show you what our hallways look like in the secondary school, which is once again 7th through 12th grade. Our hope is that soon we're actually already considering building a 3rd building for middle school. So this would be exclusively a high school building. But for now, for this year and part of next year, we're still going to house our 7th through 12th graders here. So let's go this way. We'll go upstairs. So we're currently on our 2nd floor of the secondary school building, and I wanted to show you something real fast before we take a look at the halls. Right here on our corkboard, our students have put up some posters. We are in the middle of a campaign for student government. Our students are able to run for president, vice president, ambassadors, and other positions where they can start working and developing their leadership skills. In addition to the student government, we also have houses, which I'll show you here in just a moment. Follow me first into the hall. So,
what happens then? He's floating around.
And then he kind of gets close to shore and starts swimming there. But there's like big waves that he goes to.
So he's going towards the shore. He gets a renewed strength. This is his own strength. He hasn't had any sort of divine intervention for this strength. And he's swimming to the Phoenician shore. And he sees the sharp rocks around the shore. What does Athena do when he gets close to shore?
In addition to a range of experience, we also like to hire our teachers with different backgrounds when it comes to degrees. We'll have a lot of PhD and master's students in the upper school. We'll have a couple of masters and PhDs in the middle school as well. Because we like to hire not necessarily someone with a teacher certificate, but someone who loves the subject and has specialized in the subject or field that they teach. That really makes a big difference in the classroom, because our teachers don't just know how to classroom manage, but they actually know what they're teaching. They've mastered it themselves, and they can model that to their students. So our students learn not just from the content, but also from watching our teachers teach. So starting in 7th grade, our students begin to transition. They don't just have one teacher, but they have 7 total teachers. So they'll go from math to literature to theater, depending if theater is an elective or art or music. Just like in our grammar school, in our secondary school, we also make an effort to put some of the best works of art for our students so that they're exposed to beauty all the time. If you notice in this hallway, it actually starts at the other end, but we have all of our paintings in chronological order. So we'll have some Baroque, some Rococo, all the way up to modernism and postmodernism. So as we walk down this hall, I like to show our parents some of the paintings that we have up. Our students will just naturally assimilate all this information. Once again, it's intentional. We use every single minute of the school day, and we take advantage of it to make sure that our students are steeped in the great works of art, the classics. Welcome to our chemistry lab. Now, this is a lab that we utilize not only for our 11th graders who are taking chemistry, but we also utilize it for physics, we utilize it for biology. This is where our students will come in, they'll do their dissections. Just a few weeks ago, they were working on finding the DNA of a strawberry. And we had our microscopes out. We really utilize this space a lot. As a classical school, science is one of the pillars of the type of education we believe is good for our students to receive. Small glimpse to how large or small our classes can be. Starting in 9th grade, since our students are working to get credits for graduation, the range of the sizes or the ratio change dramatically from section to section. Our students get to choose electives, and depending on their interests, we have classrooms that can range from 15 students all the way to 27 too. On this side of our hallway, we have our music classroom. We are a big singing school, so we do focus a lot on developing the instrument of our voice. Wondering about our special education program or our 504 program, we have a large team here on campus to make sure that we're offering the supports that our 504 students or our SPED students need in order to be able to be successful in their academic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it to the cafeteria where our students enjoy some time with each other and also have an opportunity to nourish themselves. In the cafeteria, we have what we call our house banners, and we put them on display so our students can see them every day. We have 4 houses. The first one you're looking at, the green one, is the House of Socrates. Now, the House of Socrates stands for wisdom. The House of Pericles, is characterized by an owl. The blue one is the House of Themistocles, and on this side we have the House of Leonidas, the red one. Every one of the houses represents virtues that we want our students to live by, and it gives our students an opportunity to actually practice those virtues. So we'll meet as a student body once every 3 weeks, and we have what's called the House Friday. On those Fridays, we play games, the houses compete against each other, and the houses also meet to vote. What things do they vote on? Well, what events they'd like to put on for the next month, what volunteer activities they'd like to do. All of these things, all these activities involve points that our houses can make, and at the end of the year, the house with the most points gets a reward. So it's a lot of fun. Our students enjoy it, and it is, an important detail. Every house has students from 7th through 12th grade. So this is also an important way in which we make sure that our students are building relationships across grades and not just in their class or section. So once again, this is a good way for us to develop the kind of culture that we want, where our students are feeling, where new students feel like they're welcomed and they are part of something larger than themselves. So these are the houses. And now we are in our gym, which is also our cafeteria for our grammar school students. As you can tell, not only do we use this space for basketball, PE, volleyball, dodgeball, but we also use it to give our students a chance to sit down, spend some time together, and nourish their bodies at lunch. So close to the Air Force Base, so we get to hear jets all the time, which our students love. But what I would like to point out for you is our backfield. If you look at the field, we have a lot of space to grow into. We have our soccer field, we have our chicken coop, and we have our archery range. At Founders Classical Academy, we like to offer our students options for co-curriculars. Co-curriculars are clubs where our students stay after school, and with a sponsor, whether it's a teacher or a parent, they get to learn a skill that is not necessarily always academic. We offer chess. We also offer horticulture, which is our gardening club, and husbandry, which is our chicken coop. We also offer other things depending on the talent of our teachers that we have on any given year. And what better way to end than to return to where we started, with an emphasis on the virtues. In our front office, not only will you find our awesome staff, but you're also going to find our mission and our code of conduct. And that's what I'd like to focus on right now. So if you follow me here, I'd like to point out to our parents how important it is for us to develop the character of our students. That teachers that choose to work at Founders do it because they know that their calling at their core is to help students become better human beings. So with that, I say goodbye, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Virtus tentamine gaudet.